let's get on to segment 2. Let's go by the numbers this week. And Cedric, your number is $10,000. That's the amount of money that we are learning from this ongoing court case involving payments to players in college basketball. This is the amount that is alleged to have been paid by Arizona coach Sean Miller to Deandre Ayton every month. Cedric, what in the world is going on here?
You know what it makes me wonder, Jen? I wonder what the football players are making, man. If the basketball players are making 10 G's a month, then the football players must be really raking it in. I just couldn't believe that story when I read it. And you got assistants dropping dimes on head coaches. And this time, what's weird is it's not a bag man that's doing Sean Miller's bidding. Apparently, Sean Miller was cutting checks or delivering a bag of money to Deandre Ayton. That is a blockbuster story. And you know Sean Miller probably isn't the only coach that's doing it. He might be the only one who's dumb enough to not have a middleman, but I would be shocked if he didn't get the gate in Arizona. Let's keep it real. A lot of these schools are paying players to come play. I think there's a short list of schools that don't cheat. And those are probably the schools that aren't winning, frankly. So not saying Sean Miller should have done it, but I understand why he did it.
Boy, this is, speaking of clouds hanging over things, this is one of those things that doesn't seem to be going away for college basketball. And, you know, obviously the college basketball world wants to focus on what's on the court. And right now, so much is happening in a courtroom. I'm not sure people are as fully focused on it, clearly not as the games. But Cedric, I think you're right. I mean, so many, we've seen everybody from Sean Miller to Will Wade at LSU. There's been a lot of fingers that have gone out in this thing, and you wonder, yes, it seems like a lot of places are being sort of caught up in this. So you think, well, maybe this is just happening to some degree everywhere. But you start to wonder, what are administrators, what are schools going to do? What's the NCAA going to do? Cedric, what can the NCAA do about this if they've got, let's say there's 25 basketball programs that are implicated with something like paying players to this level? Do they have enough people to go out and even figure out if any of this is happening? I don't know what the NCAA is going to do.
They have enough, but I'm going to tell you why they're probably going to be slow to the chase. The almighty dollar. Let's not overlook the fact that the NCAA is making billions upon billions of dollars off of NCAA basketball and NCAA football, particularly that tournament and those bowl games. So the corruption is the corruption. And if they're smart, it's a cash money business, Jen. And they're not writing checks like those idiots from SMU back in the 80s when we were little. I don't think they're cutting checks. I think they're delivering money. It's hard to trace cash, especially if people are not dropping dimes on you, unlike what's going on in Arizona. So I think the NCAA, if it was to do a full court press investigation on the corruption of paying athletes in football and basketball, that would probably go under the heading of be careful what you wish for. I don't know that they want to find this corruption, because what it's going to be doing is it's going to probably in the end cost them several million, maybe billions of dollars. The last thing the NCAA wants is for stars to not be able to come to their schools and play in their tournaments. And I know these head coaches are now looking forward to the day when the NBA reverses that freshman rule and allows these kids to go straight to the pros again. Because remember when that was going on, we missed out on guys like Kevin Durant and Kobe Bryant. I mean, not Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant. People like that went straight from high school, Dwight Howard, from high school to the pros. So the NCAA is better when they're having these great freshmen come into their game and highlight their programs. Deandre Ayton was one of them. And so don't be shocked if the investigation is a little bit slow on the uptake.
little hands off, if you will, for the NCAA. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Here's my number for our by the number, Cedric. It's 3,000. That's the career strikeouts mark that CC Sabathia, the great pitcher, recently hit. And I want to talk about him also because he's a guy, Cedric, who is not your typical build of a great athlete. I don't know if CC Sabathia is a Hall of Famer. I don't want to get into any of that, but he's a guy that I was reminded as the Nuggets are playing in the NBA playoffs, and you see Nikola Jokic out there with, somebody keeps always reposting on social media the picture of him on his passport when he was the chubby kid, coming over to the U.S. These guys aren't your average cut athletes, and yet doing great stuff. I just wanted to give a shout out to some athletes that, are clearly skilled in what they do. I don't want to knock what either of those two guys are doing, but it doesn't always mean that you have to have the six-pack abs and be able to, lift 300 pounds. You can be a great athlete if you work hard at it, and body type doesn't matter. I was reminded of that with CC Sabathia.
I love it. And Nikola Jokic is a guy. Remember Craig Stadler, the golfer, Refrigerator Perry. I like when the big guys get a little bit of love, Jay Carr. I'm in that fraternity. I'm calorically challenged, if you will. Now, I was sexy and hot when I was in my 20s and 30s, but those days are in the rear view. So when I see a CC Sabathia getting some love nationally, I kind of pat my chest a little bit and go, way to go, big boy. Keep it going for the big guys. We're watching. And this Jokic kid is amazing. He's not a great athlete. He's a great basketball player. He knows what he's doing, and he gets it done. So you don't have to be built like Karl Malone or Kobe or Michael Jordan to be great, or even Barry Bonds. Let's not get into that one about body type. But CC Sabathia shows that even a big dude with more than 20% body fat can make his mark on a high level. Congrats to CC.
Yeah, one of those things that I don't know if anybody would have necessarily said, here's a guy that's going to get 3,000 strikeouts, and you would have put the two together. But there you go. Always interesting.